Welcome, guys, to a new English class. My name, Eduardo Cuba. I'm your teacher for today. And for today's class, we got new activities. Let's take a look what we are going to be doing today. First, guys, I want you to take a look at this picture right over here. You see? Right, looks like a king, right? Looks like a king here. Yeah, very important man, right? And at the sides, we see here soldiers. Good then. I'm gonna zoom in into this picture. What does the title say, guys? The title says The Legend of King Arthur. Interesting. The legend. Guys, tell me please, what is a legend? Do you know? Have an idea? Okay, that's good. A legend is a story. Yeah, a legend is a story. But it has some particular characteristics. A legend is a story that is based on real people or events from the past, but has been passed down for a long time and may have some imaginary or magical parts added to it. Like, for example, the one that we mentioned before, which was, remember, the legend of King Arthur, right? Yeah, the legend of King Arthur. Good. And right over here, as you can see, we got now, for example, the legend of the Yeti. You remember this creature? The Yeti, right? This big creature that lives in the mountains, right? In the forest. Very mysterious, right? It's a legend as well. There we go. So, guys, what is the objective for today's lesson? Guys, in this lesson, you will create your own story. You will create your own story using sequencing words and applying the past simple and the past continuous. Remember that we have seen these two grammar structures, these two tenses in our last class. And we're going to use them right now to create our own story. Yes? And of course, with sequencing words. So guys, let's get to work. Now guys, before we jump into a text that you are going to be reading, let's review first some vocabulary, some important information. First of all, guys, I want you to tell me, please, who is this person? Do you know him? Do you know who's this man? Right, he's Bill Gates. Right, he's Bill Gates. And do you recognize this company? Do you recognize this logo, Microsoft? Do you recognize this company, guys? Right? Yes. Very good then. It's a company, right, that was found, right? It was found by Bill Gates, right? It's a software company, right? The computers use this software system, right, to run the programs. Righty then. Awesome. So to remember the past continuous and the past simple, we can say, for example, that Bill Gates was living in Washington when he found Microsoft. Yep. Remember that for you to create your story, your own story, you need to add the past continuous and past simple. Now, guys, now that we know that here we have Bill Gates, we know that he's the founder of Microsoft, we need to learn some extra vocabulary before jumping into a reading exercise. Then, the cars are on the road. Look, the road, remember this word, the road. Miss Sonic is a rich woman, rich with a lot of money. The car has a flat tire, you see? A flat tire, flat tire. There we go, guys. Now, let's jump into our text. Now, guys, please, everybody, open your books on page number 4, please. Go to page number 4, open your books and go to page number 4. Let's take a look here. What is the title of this text? It says, An Urban Legend. That's right. So guys, I'm going to ask some of you to read some specific parts of this text. When you finish reading, you are going to be answering some questions about this. And let's start with, yes, a student A, then we go with a student B, a student C, and so on. Please, student A, you can start. Okay, guys, now that you have read the text, it's time for you to answer some questions. Question number 1. What happened to the man? Question number 2. What did Mikey do? Question 3. What did Mikey receive? Question 4. Who was Bill Gates? And question 5. What was on the letter? So let's start with the student A. Yes, number 1's for you. What happened to the man? Very good. Let's continue with a student B, please. Question 2. Guys, before jumping into our writing activity, let's review some important information you need to know and some important vocabulary that you're going to use to write your own story. So first of all, what is going to be the structure of your story? In the first paragraph that we are going to call the beginning, remember that it should get the reader's attention and make them want to read more. For your next paragraph, for paragraph number 2, that's going to be the middle. It has details about the events, and they are in chronological order. The events are in chronological order. For the final paragraph, for paragraph number 3, that's going to be the ending. It brings the story to a close. Remember that a story can have a surprise ending. Now, what about the sequencing words? The sequencing words are gonna be useful to put the events in chronological order. To start a story, we can start with one day, one night, one time, in the beginning maybe. To order the events, we can use, for example, at first, next, then after that, 10 minutes later, 2 days later, for example. And to finish the story, for the ending, we can use in the end, finally. There we go. These are the steps that you need to take into consideration. These are the parts that you need to take into consideration to write your own story. And don't forget to include the vocabulary. Let me show you guys right over here a quick example on how your story may look like. Let's take a look, guys, right over here. It says The Mysterious Key. This is going to be, of course, the title. You need to put a title, of course, at the top of your text. Then you have the beginning. That's right. Another word that you can use is, for example, once upon a time. Then it says, then we have right over here the middle paragraph with expressions like at first, next, after that. And the final paragraph, it's the ending with words like finally or at the end. This is an example of how your own story may look like. Now, guys, it's writing time. This is the moment where you are going to write your own story. What are the instructions? Write your own story. Add a title at the top of your story. Your story has to include a beginning, a middle, and an ending. Use the sequencing words. So guys, let's start working right now.